A very good morning to you all aspirants. Welcome to the Civilspedia's Daily Current Affairs Analysis brought to you by Shankar IAS Academy, and today's date is 21st of August 2025, and hope you are all the subscriber of Shankar IAS Academy YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe and click the bell icon to receive the on-time notification. And in this session, we are going to discuss about the following topics, and the topic taken for today's discussion are the Election Commission of India and its recent initiative to strengthen the electoral role or electoral system in India. And the second topic is the Thattekad bird sanctuary, which got recently the survey and the recent founding of new species in that Thattekad bird sanctuary. And the third topic is the Nalanda University and its prominence because of the historical as well as civilizational ties between India and China, and the recent commemoration of India and China's 75th diplomatic engagement between both the nations, and the saltwater crocodile from the environmental point of view, and the recent conservation measure taken by the West Bengal government. And the fifth topic is the prelims focus from the IAS Parliament. That is an one-liner session which was more relevant to the UPSC prelims preparation. Let's get into this topics. This news article taken from the New Indian Express will elicit about the 28 key initiatives taken by the Election Commission of India to strengthen the electoral systems. And with this article, we are going to discuss about the Election Commission of India in a quick overview manner, as well as the key initiatives taken by this Election Commission to strengthen this electoral system in a broad 6 categories in the UPSC context. And about the Election Commission of India, it has been established on the 25th January of 1950, which is that 25th January has been celebrated as the National Voters' Day every year in India. And this Election Commission of India is a constitutional body, was established under the article of 324 of Indian Constitution. And this Election Commission of India has been responsible for the superintendence, direction, as well as the control of elections to parliamentary elections, legislature of every state, that is state election, as well as the office of president and office of vice president. And here we have to note that the election to the Panchayati Raj as well as the municipalities has been conducted by the State Election Commission, not by the Election Commission of India. And the composition of this Election Commission of India was originally be a single member body, that it consists of only a chief election commissioner when it got introduced or inducted into the constitutional mechanism. But since 1993, it has been transformed into a multi-member body, which consists of presently chief election commissioner, one chief election commissioner, as well as the 2 election commissioners. And the Election Commissioner of India has been appointed by the President of India. The tenure of their work or the tenure of this position was around 6 years, and until the age of 65 years, whichever is earlier. And the removal process is as similar to the removal of judges of Supreme Court. That is the majority, special majority with respect to both the houses of parliament, that is 50% of present and voting in both the houses of parliament. And the removal of election commissioner will be removed on the recommendation of chief election commissioner itself. And the key initiatives taken by the Election Commission to strengthen the electoral system in India can be broadly classified into 6 pillars or 6 categories. That is, the first thing is the stakeholders engagement, that is the stakeholders involved in the process of election, and the electoral system cleanup, that is cleaning up the system of electoral commission to remove the duplications or unnecessary activities in the electoral system, and the technology adoption of various technological advancement into the electoral system of India, as well as the electoral roll purity, which is the removal of duplications or duplicate entries into the election commission list, as well as the ease of voting is the fifth pillar, and the capacity building is the main pillar of this initiative taken by this Election Commissioner of India. And we are going to discuss this broadly categorized 6 pillars of this initiatives in the further context. And the first pillar, that is the stakeholder engagement, there are 4,719 all-party meetings has been conducted with the participation of more than 28,000 political representatives, and also it conducted the 20 high-level meeting with the party presidents as well as the senior leaders of the political parties. And moving to the electoral system cleanup, the Election Commission of India has inactivated or delisted the registered unrecognized political parties, that is identified broadly as 334 initially, and it also got, after delisting the registered unrecognized political party from the electoral list, it also has more identification of around 476 registered unrecognized political parties which are about to be delisted. And issuance of standard ID cards for the booth level officers is also an integrated system for the ensure of major system reform in the election commission. And the standard operating procedure which involves the verification of 5% of the electronically voting machines, that involves the microcontrollers after result, that is post result, the verification of 5% of the electronic voting machines has to be conducted as a standard operating procedure to take this measure as the process of transparency, as well as the for any tampering of any evidence or tampering of any hardwares in this electoral voting machine. And with respect to the third pillar, that is the technology adoption, Election Commission of India has taken various steps, and it got evolved during the along with the technological evolution in the country, that it got introduced the ECI net, that is the Election Commission of India net, which is a digital platform integrating 40 plus apps for the easy access to the voters to the election commission, as well as the information about the electoral process. And it also makes the 100% webcasting, that is broadcasting the events or incidents which are very relevant to the electoral process at the polling station. And it also make the real time voter turnout updates every 2 hours for the as a mechanism to ensuring transparency. And we electors as well as the political parties also know about the electoral process in a real time manner. And the mandatory of counting of VVPAT, that is voter verified printed audit trail, that got introduced in a significant manner for as the ensuring transparency in the electoral process. This slip count has been mandatory in case of mismatch in any votes polling booth. And the fourth major pillar is the electoral roll purity Bihar, which is conducted recently in the Bihar, that is the special intensive revision which was conducted after 20 years. This electoral roll purity involved the updation of the electoral roll before the by-elections which was about to be conducted in the 4 states. And this electoral roll purity measure by the Election Commission of India will remove the duplicate entries in the electoral voter identity card that is being issued to the electors for presenting and before the polling booth, which got the removal of this duplicate, as the person may be deceased or they may not be eligible for getting vote in any polling booth, will be removed from this electoral list, that will become the electoral roll a purity one. And this EPIC, that is electoral photo identity card delivery, has to be delivered within the 15 days of its registration, and along with the SMS notification, is the significant measure taken by this Election Commission of India. And the fifth pillar is the ease of voting, to make the voting process more easier for the electors, that is making the polling station limit the capping of 1200 voters for a polling station, and the increase in number of polling booths will also make the voting process for the electors more easier as well as accessible. And the mobile deposit facilities in and outside the polling booths is also a significant step taken by the Election Commission of India to make the voter accessible, or to make the transparency in the voting process. And the clear vote slip mandates and the VVPAT ensuring mechanism is also a significant step for the ease of voting process. And the candidates booths allowed beyond the 100 meter of polling station, that is the 100 after the polling in the polling station, 100 meters and beyond the 100 meters of queues or line for the candidates to stand and get their voted, also a significant measure in the process of ease of voting mechanism. And with respect to the capacity building is the foremost pillar of this election commission significant measures, that is the block level officer or the booth level officers remuneration under this capacity building measures for the election commission of India has been doubled, that is increased. And over 7,000 officials has been trained in the India International Institute of Democracy and Election Management, which is a body in the headquarters in the New Delhi. And the special session for police as well as the political agents who involved in the electoral system process or the election process has been capacity building measure taken by the election commission of India. These are all the broad categories that needs to be focused, and we have to have a comprehensive note over this for the UPSC preparation. With this, we move to the next article. And in a recent survey taken in the Thattekad bird sanctuary of Kerala, there is a significant increase in the number of flora as well as fauna species. And also they have found many other new species under the various classified taxonomy under the survey conducted recently. And this news article was taken from The Hindu. With this news article, we are going to discuss or we are going to know about the species in news with respect to this Thattekad Birdlife Sanctuary and the survey recently taken. And the location of this Thattekad Wildlife Sanctuary was situated in the Kerala's Ernakulam district, and it is situated on the banks of River Periyar. And it was established in the year of 1983 under the recommendations provided by the one of the India's famous ornithologist known as Dr. Salim Ali, who is also known as the under the name of Birdman of India. And the size of this Thattekad Birdlife Sanctuary was extended to 25 square kilometers, which is considered to be one of the smallest bird sanctuary in Kerala. And here you can see the location of this Thattekad bird sanctuary, which was located in the Western Ghats of India and very proximity to the Kochi of Kerala. And the habitat and ecosystem of this Thattekad bird sanctuary consists of various landscapes, including the evergreen forest, semi-evergreen forest, moist deciduous forest, grassland ecosystem, as well as wetland ecosystem. These are all the composition of this Thattekad Birdlife Sanctuary, which also a significant feature to enhance or presence of diversified fauna as well as floral species. And the average annual rainfall over this area was also higher, that is around 3000 millimeters or 300 30 centimeters of rainfall over that area, which is considerably a higher amount of rainfall, which also has the probability or the which increases the enriches the soil capacity as the soil nutrients, and it also got the dense vegetation because of this adequate rainfall, which supports the diversified floral species. And the recent survey was taken by the Kerala's Forest Department as well as the coordination with the Travancore Natural History Society, and the duration of the survey conducted was around 3 days. And the composition of the survey was taken by the 30 experts along with the forest staff's involvement. And the approach was not only to a specific species, it got the multi-taxa survey, that it covers various taxonomies such as the taxonomy under the butterflies, odonats, that is dragonflies or damselflies, and birds, ants, crabs, as well as cicadas, a type of insects which was a previous year question asked in the year of 2024 prelims, which is very important. And the moths, amphibians, fishes are also covered under this survey. And the camp was set across this habitat for and in an elevated zone for proper monitoring. And the new findings under this survey taken was broadly classified under various taxonomies. The first taxonomy is butterflies. Under this 113 species got identified, and 4 new records has been found. That is extra lasker, which is a beautiful butterfly, and yellow jack sailor, yellow breasted flat, white bar bush brown, that we can see in this image, that this is the white bar bush brown. And this is all important because these can be listed in the question and asked under which taxonomy it can be present, like they may mention it as butterfly, dragonflies, or any other insects or any other new species. So they may ask this in the question, so we have to note it down. And the special mention, that is Buddha's peacock, which is the state bird of Kerala, which is also an butterfly. Here you can see in this image, this also has been observed under this Thattekad bird sanctuary, and the egg laying feature of this Buddha peacock has been observed under this habitat. And also the special mention of Malabar rose and southern bird wing, which is also a type of butterfly identified under this survey. And with respect to the ordinates, or coming to the ordinates, which is classification of dragonflies as well as damselflies, 88 species has been identified and 5 new records has been found. That is Wayanad bowtails, spotted torrent hawks, Travancore daggerhead, Malabar sprite, and Malabar bamboo tail. If you have time, please have a Google search of this species. There you can see a refreshing image of this new species found, which will be an apart from Instagram and other social medias, it will create an imagery effect to this preparation, as well as associated with the UPSC preparation. So have a look at it for better understanding of the species, and it can be asked in the UPSC prelims in a manner. And the large swarms of common picture wing as well as wandering gliders has also be present in this survey. And the endemic species of Euphia fraseri, Lyriothemis abrahami, also present in the survey. And moving to the birds, the survey also got the significance of identification of 104 bird species within that 25 square kilometers area. And the raptor species of birds involves the lesser fish eagle, Eurasian sparrowhawks, crested goshawks, spot-bellied eagle bowls. And here you can easily identify these are as a bird species, but we can't able to identify like a bowtail or any other bird wings as a insect or butterfly or any other species. So we have to identify or classify in a separate manner. And the forest specialists like Malabar dragoon, which are very important for the forest conservation as well as the forest ecosystem, blue-eared kingfisher, Malabar parakeets also found in this Thattekad bird sanctuary. And the other fauna species also found inside this Thattekad bird sanctuary are the elephant gaur, which is very important, and the scaly anteaters, which is also very important with respect to this UPSC preparation, because they are very endangered, or they are very vulnerable to the ecosystem. And the reptiles involves the king cobra, and fish species, ant species, crab species, moths, and amphibians are also found in this Thattekad bird sanctuary. With this, we move to the next article. This news article taken from The Hindu. In this news article, the author of this article expressed his optimistic point of view from the India-China's civilizational ties or the historical ties, and it got centered by the Nalanda University, which will be a center of learning at the time and the center of dialogue at that time. So with this article, we are going to discuss about the Nalanda University's background from the historical perspective, as well as the recent developments in the India-China's ties, and as well as from the historical ties between both the nations on the center of Nalanda University. And the context of this news was because of the recent commemoration of 75th diplomatic engagement between India and China, which is a historical tie as well as the shared cultural heritage of this between both the nations. And the recent positive development between India and China with respect to Shanghai Cooperation Organization's Defense Minister Dialogue, which was happened in the year of 2025 January, and the resumption of Kailash Manasarovar Yatra, which was occurred in June of 2025, and the visit of Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi to the India on August 2025, which also got its prominence of thawing of diplomatic ties between both the nations, and it also has a scope for the introduction of intellectual diplomacy, which is also considered to be the era of historic in nature between both the nations, as we are going to discuss in the further section of this video. And with respect to the Nalanda's university background, it got its foundation around the 5th century Common Era by the Kumaragupta I, who is from the Gupta dynasty, and it got flourished under the reign of Harshavardhana, who is a famous king, or the last Hindu prominent king in the Indian territory, whose court poet is called as Banabhatta, whose famous work, the Banabhatta wrote the Harsha Charita, which is a description of the life of Harshavardhana. And the famous work of Harshavardhana is, or as Priyadarshika, Ratnavali as, and Meghananda, which are very important for the UPSC prelims preparation. And this Nalanda University was also flourished under the Pala dynasty of 8th to 12th century Common Era. And the curriculum of this Nalanda University is also very prominent, because it involves various curriculums like Buddhist philosophy majorly of Mahayana sect, as well as it also introduce or it also teaches Vedas, grammars, logics, medicines, mathematics, and astronomy, which attracts various learners from across the globe to get land in this university and get to become a scholars. And this Nalanda University is also act as a global hub for dialogue, as well as the global hub for learning, which draws scholars from across China, Korea, Japan, Tibet, Sri Lanka, as well as Sumatran region. And it got distracted by the Bakhtiyar Khilji, who is also a military general of Muhammad Ghori of Afghan ruler, and it got distracted in the 1993 Common Era by this Bakhtiyar Khilji. And the revival that is got renovated under the modern Nalanda University, and it got established in the year of 2010 and operational since 2014. Yeah, and this revival of this Nalanda University into its modern nature or its presence was supported by the East Asia Summit, because it consists of mostly associated with the East Asian nations. It drew scholars from the majorly East Asian nations or the Southeast Asian nations, so it got its support from the East Asia Summit countries. And we can see the location of this Nalanda University, which was 16 kilometers north to the earlier Pataliputra or Rajgarh, capital of this Bihar region in the earlier times. And we have to note that the various Chinese travelers which got its prominence because of the recent ties got emerged, or the commemoration of this bilateral engagement between both the nations. The Chinese travelers with respect to India's Nalanda University also important, not only for the preparation of UPSC but also for the common perspective, that the Faxian, or the Faxian, who is very prominent Chinese traveler who traveled or who was in the Indian region between the 399 to 412 Common Era, who is from the Eastern Jin dynasty. The objective of this Faxian's note was to collect the Buddhist scriptures from the Indian territory, and he also has the brief note on the ruling of Chandragupta II. So we can have a question like Faxian visited India during the reign of which ruler? Like they can ask. So the Chandragupta II is the ruler who at the time the Faxian visited India, who is from the Gupta dynasty. And the famous work of this Faxian was Fo Guo Ji, which is known as the record of Buddhist kingdoms. This can also be asked in the UPSC question. And with respect to the second Chinese traveler, who is known as Zhuang or Huang Sang in general, and we are some of us know about this name, that Huang Sang, who is also a prominent traveler as well as scholar from the China, and he was in the Indian territory between 630 to 645 Common Era, who is from Tang dynasty, who spent around 2 years at Nalanda University and studied under the scholar called Shilabhadara, and he got documented the reign of Harshavardhana, that it got prominent, or it attained its zenith during this Nalanda University attained its zenith of peak during this Harshavardhana reign, and the society and the economy of the reign under the Harshavardhana. And the famous work of this Huang Song was Great Tang Record on Western Region, and he also has a book called Ki, which is also another name for the Southern Record of Western Worlds. And the third prominent traveler from China are the Yi Jing or the I Ching, whose period was 673 to 695 Common Era, who also studied at Nalanda for over 10 years. And the major work by this I Ching was record of Buddhist practices sent home from the Southern Sea, which is a comprehensive note about the Buddhist practices, which later got prominent in the Chinese territory. And the focus of this study was to monitor or to document the daily monastic life at Nalanda. With this, we move to the next article. This news article was taken from the Hindu, and this news article is about the saltwater crocodile and the Sundarban regions, and the recent measures taken by the West Bengal government for increasing the population of saltwater crocodile, and the significance of the saltwater crocodile and its conservation measures. And with respect to the recent population taken by the West Bengal government, the estimated population was around 220 to 242, which was found in the Sundarban Biosphere Reserve, which is also very important for our UPSC prelims preparation from the environment point of view. And 213 of population has been found in the natural environment, that is direct sighting. 125 adults and 88 juveniles and 23 hatchlings has been found in its natural environment, which is very significant increase in the population as well as in the natural environment it habitates. And what makes it more significant is that compared to the 2024 survey, it got its natural significance, and the population increase also increased in manipulated numbers comparatively to the 2024 survey, and around 23 hatchlings has been found in its natural habitat. And with respect to the saltwater crocodile and the India, the saltwater crocodile can be found or identified by the binomial name of Crocodilus porosus, and the global distribution of the population of saltwater crocodile can be found between the eastern Indian region, that is east coast of India, as well as it can also be found in the Bangladesh region and in the Southeast Asian regions. And this saltwater crocodile can also be found in the northern Australian regions, as it got the influence from the ocean. And with respect to the Indian region or the Indian territory, it got distributed majorly around three natural habitats of Odisha, West Bengal and Andaman Nicobar. And this saltwater crocodile can be found in the natural habitat of where marshy lands or either in the mangrove regions. And this Odisha Bhitarkanika mangrove forest, it has been found in its natural habitat, and this saltwater crocodile has been found in large numbers in the Bhitarkanika mangrove forest, and it is one of the largest Indian population holding state in India with respect to the saltwater crocodile. And the West Bengal region, it got covered under the Sundarbans, and the Andaman and Nicobar regions, it got distributed around the coastal areas of the Andaman and Nicobar. And the major conservation which was taken apart from the West Bengal government was the Odisha government, which taken the captive breeding and release of the saltwater crocodile in its natural habitat was taken in this region, Bhitarkanika region, and it was done by the Odisha government. And with respect to the conservation status of this saltwater crocodile, it got classified in the IUCN Red List as least concern. But it got fragmented by population in its natural habitat with respect to the Indian environment because of the mangroves distribution as well as its natural habitat, and it got most vulnerable in the Indian situation because of the dwindling number of prey as well as its natural habitat. And it got classified in the sites as appendix 1, and it got banned the banning of trade from the international level because of its population dwindling. And the Indian conservation measures taken under the Wildlife Protection Act of 1978, it got classified in the Schedule 1, which is the highest protection given to any species in the India with respect to its conservation. And the habitats it got preferred, or the natural habitat it was thrive was preferred to be the creeks or rivers. The creeks or the marshlands which got a narrow inlet of rivers from the besides the shoreline. So it got distributed between this shoreline and the rivers with the high tide of around 180 meters from the influence of ocean. And it, as it is a saltwater crocodile, it can tolerate around varying salinity in winter seasons. But increasing salinity is also a threat to its natural habitat because it doesn't suit the habitat it thrives, and it also has the major threat from the rising climate change activities as well as the Sundarban areas it thrives. And the conservation measures apart from the Bhitarkanika mangrove regions that taken by the Odisha government, the West Bengal government also has a separate project called the Bhagabatpur Crocodile Project, which covers around 24 paraganas in the south of West Bengal, which was established in the year of 1976. And this conservation measure is containing various mechanisms like captive breeding, which got the saltwater crocodile has been captivated and populated in a separate captive environment, and it got subsequently released in its natural habitat to make it in its natural habitat to thrive. And by the year of 2022, in the earlier measure, conservation measure of this species, 577 individuals got released into the wild or natural habitat. And the ecological role played by the saltwater crocodile, as it is an apex predator, is strike a balance between the aquatic ecosystem as well as the land marine ecosystem. And it also be a scavenger as it feeds on carcasses to make the carcasses polluting the environment more less. And another major thing we need to note from this news article is that the Sundarban Biosphere Reserve, which got around the distributed around the Indian region of West Bengal, and it got also shared with the neighboring nations called Bangladesh. And it also has the recognition, or it has been identified under international programs such as UNESCO's World Heritage Site. It has been identified or recognized as UNESCO's World Heritage Site in the year of 1987, and it also has been identified as the UNESCO's Biosphere Reserve in the year of 2001, and it also be an wetland of international importance as it is enrolled in the Ramsar site in the year of 2019, which also very important for our UPSC prelims preparation with respect to the environment. And the key species it got habitat, or the Sundarban Biosphere Reserve is home to various key species such as Royal Bengal tiger, which is our national animal of India, and the saltwater crocodile as we see, and the fishing cat, which is also a major species, or the endemic species which is found in this Sundarban region, and the estuarine fish. And the threat of this Sundarban Biosphere Reserve has been identified as the sea level rise, that is rise in sea level because of the climate change activities, as well as the thawing of Antarctic region will eventually rise the sea level, and the salinity intrusion into the aquifers as well as the natural water system which got the freshwater ecosystem, as well as the coastal erosion because of the dwindling numbers of mangrove coverage in the coastal region, as well as the climate change activities which plays a major role in the dwindling of this or the threat to the Sundarban Biosphere Reserve. With this, we move to the next article. Moving to the prelims focus, which was very shorter in term but were very relevant to the UPSC prelims preparation, and the first topic of this prelims focus was the Center for Processing Accelerated Corporate Exit, which is the acronym for CPACE, which got set up in the year of 2023 under the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, which provides a centralized time-bound hassle-less process for striking off or the delisting of defendant companies maintained by the list of corporate entities by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and its primary aim is to ease the corporate exit or the entities to exit from the list of corporate affairs list maintained by this ministry, and to reduce the burden of the registry maintained by this corporate affairs to make it more efficient, as well as focusing on the entities which are very functioning and very active in nature, and also ensure the cleaner as well as more focused corporate entities which are actively participating in the economic production, as well as the accurate maintenance of corporate data to make it more focusing and monitoring in nature. And the prelims question for this topic can be asked like, Center for Processing Accelerated Corporate Exit is related to which of the following ministry? Like that questions can be asked, or there may be a 4 probability of relevant sentences or the options has been provided with respect to this corporate affairs, and the question may be, the Center for Processing Accelerated Corporate Exit is relevant to what, or which of the following. So we have to know that what is the major role or the what are the primary objective of this Center for Processing Accelerated Corporate Exit, that is CPs. And with the second topic is the National Gopal Ratna Awards, which was recently provided, and it got launched in the year of 2021 under the Rashtriya Gokul Mission. This Rashtriya Gokul Mission was under the Department of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, and under the Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, and which got annually provided the award of on the day of National Milk Day, which was on November 26, which is also the birth anniversary of Mr. Dr. Kurian, Varghese Kurian, who is the father of White Revolution, or the who spearheaded the famous operation called Operation Flood, which is related to dairy production in India. And this Rashtriya Gokul Mission and the National Gopal Ratna Award was provided to the excellence of excellence in the area of milk production and the promotion of indigenous cattle. And this National Gopal Ratna Award was provided under 3 categories. We have to note that under 3 categories, and there is a special mention for the northeastern states region. And moving to the third topic, and the topic is toxoplasmosis, which is a zoonotic infection caused by the protozoan, which we have to note that toxoplasmosis was recently in news, which was related to what, that there may be a possibility of questions like that. So we have to note that it is a protozoan infection which was caused by the plasmodium called the Toxoplasma gondii, which can infect all warm-blooded animals. So this can also be an statement-based question. It affects all warm-blooded animals is a question, is a statement. So we have to know that it infects all warm-blooded animals, including humans, and it often presents with mild symptoms of mild flu like fever, fatigue, headache, and swollen lymph nodes. And the third topic is the Moraji Desai National Institute of Yoga, which was recently in news because of the recently concluded Independence Day. This institute will provide a special invite for the special guests on the occasion of this Independence Day to this center, and it got this center of Moraji Desai National Institute of Yoga got established in the year of 1998 under the Ministry of Ayush, and it is an autonomous institute dedicated for the promotion of philosophy and practice of yoga based on ancient tradition. So we have to have a quick note of this, and as well as we have to note the philosophy of yoga was proposed by whom and the practice of yoga like that, etc. And the moving to the final topic, the FASTag annual pass, which was launched by the National Highways Authority of India under the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, which allows the non-commercial vehicles to be an unlimited toll access for the 1 year, which has the access for 1 year, or either 200 crossings of toll gates with the one-time payment of rupees 3000. And this FASTag is an easy processing through mechanism through various toll plazas in and across India, and this FASTag was based on the principle or the scientific invention called as radio frequency identification, that is RFID. Hope you guys like the video. Please share your positive comments and the suggestions in the comment section given below, and share the video to your friends, and stay in touch with us by subscribing to the Shankar IAS Academy YouTube channel and click the bell icon to receive the on-time notification. Have a wonderful day.